These 5-minute radio programs were recorded in 2021 by Jim McDonald for broadcast by KDET in Center, Texas. We hope you'll benefit from these and share them with others.
God's promise to Abraham, "And in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed," Genesis 12:3, was explained more fully when the promise came again with these words, "And in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed," Genesis 22:18. The blessing for all nations would come through the seed of Abraham. The blessing through Abraham came because he obeyed the voice of God, and God chose to send him who would be the means by which the world was blessed through Abraham. Still, God did not specify just what that blessing would be, and the promise to Abraham was not the first promise of a blessing for the whole world. The first hint of a blessing to come for man was after Eve had succumbed to Satan's temptation and eaten the tree God had forbidden Adam to eat of. When she was confronted with her sin, and God had shown her what would be the result of it, God placed a curse upon the serpent, saying, "Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. And he shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel." Genesis 3:15. Now this promise was a blessing to come, cannot be denied. The serpent, the devil, who had led man to sin and thus into death, would suffer a fatal wound. His head would be bruised. In turn, the woman's seed would suffer a wound to the heel, a hurtful, painful wound, but not eternal. And what blessing the seed of the woman would provide the world, however, still was not clear. Abraham's family was the one who would provide a blessing for all nations, and thus any recurring promise of one who should come and prove to be a blessing for the world would come through Abraham's lineage. Abraham's grandson, Jacob, before he died, blessed each of his 12 sons, saying specifically to Judah, "The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a ruler's staff from beneath his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the obedience of the people be." Genesis 49:10. So now we have the line from Abraham through Judah. Finally, we come to David, and God's promise to him that he would raise up one to sit on his throne placed David as one also from whom he who would bless all nations would come. All these passages identify one who was coming, and various family members who would be in the bloodline of that one, and who would provide a blessing to all the families of the earth. David is the last named individual who would be the direct bloodline in the seed of Abraham, and who would be the means through which all the families of the earth would be blessed. The prophets spoke much of he who was to be a direct descendant of David and something of the work he would do. According to Isaiah, that descendant one would be from a virgin, and his name would be Emmanuel, or God with us, Isaiah 7:14. The child's name would be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace, Isaiah 9:6. Out of the stock of Jesse, David's father, a branch would come. He would be full of the Spirit and wisdom, and peace would come to mankind. Isaiah 11:1, 2-9. Yet he would be despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. Isaiah 53. How could that promised seed be able both to be a blessing to the world and yet be rejected by that world? Is it any wonder that people ask at the birth of Jesus, "What shall this child be?" The promise God made is clear. "In thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed." What is not so clear was, what was that blessing? Study with us tomorrow for the answer to this question.